Howdy folks, Timber Drifter here. Just got back last night from my trip to Marquette, Michigan to visit some people. Marquette's a pretty nice little town. I only visited one of the tobacco shops there. It was a Book World, and they didn't have a whole lot of well, they had quite a bit of pipe tobacco, but it's their own blends in jars, and most of them are aromatics. But they had a lot of pipes and had a few non-aromatic blends. I didn't pick up any tobacco there, not pipe tobacco. So anyway, it's a nice enough little shop, and Marquette's I really like that town quite a bit. Have to go back there again in the summertime when it's not so cold. But it was nice to see Lake Superior, even frozen over. That vast expanse of ice, pretty cool. All the big ice heaves along shore. But it's also nice to be home again. Back to using lanterns instead of electric lights. It's one of the ones I just picked up recently. Using kerosene lately instead of paraffin, which is what I normally use, because paraffin freezes, and it gets cold enough in here when there's no heat that it gets below freezing, and it freezes. See, that lantern has aluminum foil on the back side of it. That's to focus all the light out that way. I use this one when I'm reading. But the black stuff around the seam there is because of paraffin freezing in it, and it actually separated the seam and caused it to leak, so I put gasket seal on it. Yeah, I've got 4 different lanterns I use. Another one. That little red one, for whatever reason, is the brightest one. I don't know why. It's all the same kerosene and all the same lamp wick. But they're all hurricane lanterns. I like them pretty well. I've dropped them on the floor and not had them break. That's why I don't use oil lamps. It's just too dangerous. Now, while I'm on the subject of sources of light, I also use these things. I think they're meant to light up paths in the yard or sidewalks. Leave them out during the day with the little solar panel facing up, and when I get home at night they light the place up enough for me to see what's going on, so I can get my heater going. And can't quite read by it, but yeah, very helpful. Also, candles. I have my own type of candle lantern. That's a beer can, just cut and peeled back, and the shiny inside actually reflects light out really nicely. This gives you something to hang on to when you move it, and I have various hooks on the walls in here, so I'll put a piece of wire or a horse blanket pin through the tab and I can hang it off of stuff. I use those for reading. They don't put out a whole lot of light, but just enough to read by or see what I'm doing in the dark. And then of course my Petzl headlamps, sources of light for a man with no electricity. Oh, and my water's boiling. When I came back, I realized I didn't have any any water or even ice in my ice bucket, so I had to go out and pack my water bucket and my teapot full of snow. And instead of wasting propane using my cook stove to boil the water, let's see if I can get the right angle here. I just hang my there we go. I just hang my teapot over my propane heater. That's on a hook in the ceiling. I actually cook that way as well. If I'm running the heater, I might as well hang a pot of beans over it. Have those boiling away, right? Why not? Anyway, I'm just rambling on here about life without electricity, which I enjoy pretty well. I guess over the last 11 years, I guess I've spent close to 5 of those 11 years without electricity. Could be more than that even. Just another bill to not worry about paying. As soon as I get enough water boiled for tea, I'm going to make, just pick this up at the co-op in Marquette. I drink all kinds of different teas, and I switch back and forth between tea and coffee and green tea and red tea or black tea and yerba mate. This one's from Brazil. It's leaves of a tree. Really, if you haven't tried yerba mate, give it a try, but don't brew it with boiling water. You want about 150-degree water, otherwise it gets bitter. It's really interesting flavors, but this brand in particular has a really nice flavor, really smooth and kind of nutty. I like it. Cook up a big pot of sausages or smoked sausage and turnip here. I came home, all my vegetables were frozen, of course. I've been gone 5 or 6 days, so my turnips and onions and cabbage froze. Better cook them up right quick here. Yep. I suppose that's about all my rambling for now. 8 minutes. Not too used to making videos anymore. I don't know what I mean to talk about, so I just ramble on. I suppose you might be interested in what I'm smoking. It's a Balkan Luxury Blend 957 from Sutliff in my old tinderbox pipe. First pipe I ever bought at 15 years old at a antique shop. Still one of my favorites. Yep. It was fun to be out and about visiting people, but it's also really nice to be back home. Well, I'm going to get on with my day. Y'all have a nice day. Take care.